To the pure in mind, all things are beautiful. That exchange took place between Ena Sharples and Lucille Hewitt at the Glad Tidings Mission Hall, where Ena practiced her staunch faith and learned to live by its sentiments. The hall itself used to be right here, where these new houses now stand. Ena lodged at the mission for years, putting the fear of God into all who crossed the threshold. Although only caretaker by name, she and everyone else regarded it as her hall. And if its pompous manager, Leonard Swindley, thought otherwise, Ena would soon put him right.
Right. Before we start, I'm under my notice. We have a gentleman's agreement, right?
Yes.
Whereby I live here rent-free, right? In return for which I put up with you coming the little, organising disorderly meetings, jumble sales, pantomimes, concerts, blowing up the boilers, poking your nose in all house God sent and all right. Before that meeting, I was down on my knees, crippled by sciatica without a word of complaint, scrubbing those boards wide. If you put up my rent by so much as 1 penny piece, I'll shovel all that dirt back down again. And close your mouth, you look exactly like him.
If you'd have the courtesy to listen, Mrs. Sharples, you'd realise that Mr. Swindley isn't going to charge you rent.
I was just about to inform you, Mrs. Sharples, before that unwarranted and insulting attack, that the committee has decided, as a public gesture, to allow you to continue to live here rent-free.
In that case, I'll accept your apology. We'll think no more about it. Good night.
Swindley was not the street's only figure of social pretension. A few yards across the cobbles from the mission reigned a woman whose snobbery Ena found a source of equal irritation and amusement. Annie Walker's battles with Ena over the bar were a great entertainment for the Rovers regulars. Just occasionally, though, the two did bury the hatchet, especially if Ena had strayed from her normal milk stout.
You know, this isn't bad. What did you say it was?
It's, this one's Benedictine. You know, I always fancy a little drop after my lunch on Sunday.
Very nice. Mind you, I don't bother with lunch on Sunday. It doesn't run to 2 cooked meals on a pension.
Oh, of course not. How thoughtless of me. Now, you must come and have lunch with us one Sunday. Jack and I would be delighted. And just a little glass more, Mrs. Sharples.
Ena.
Beg pardon?
Ena.
Oh.
Do you reckon you'll finish your days in this street, Annie?
Well, you know, that's hard to say, Ena. I must confess I've longed for something better. We did have a very, very nice hotel offered to us, but Jack wasn't keen. I suppose a wife's place is behind her husband.
That's right.
Mind you,
It doesn't pay to let them know.
it most certainly does not.
You know, on reflection, I thought you were very unlucky in that talent competition, Annie. I am blessed with a very good ear. And in my opinion, you were miles ahead of everybody else.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Ena.
You have a beautiful voice.
It's no better than yours. I've heard your Rock of Ages echoing across the street on a Sunday morning.
I do my best.
Ena Sharples was a product of an era now gone. One from the grim industrial north that fashioned its people in its own image. Folk then had to be as hard and as resilient as the mill looms that they worked on. But if life made them tough, their faith could give them a tenderness. Ena epitomised all this. The self-appointed keeper of the street's morals. She could be a kind and caring soul when the occasion warranted. She was loved and feared, often at the same time. Though that vinegar tongue of hers could divide the street, she had a strength that could also bind it together.
There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs